that's done the program like EMP class. We are done with the display method. Display this small example EMP class where you are calling this program from where creating an object EMP1 like this. You're calling this. So once you select and export highlighted, you're getting that sort. So to export that, so we can whenever I export this program here, I'm passing this by event.dsp. So this is the display method I'm calling for displaying the values. Similarly, but here I'm initializing the values directly. I'm initializing the values EID, ename. So whenever I execute the program, always the EID values will be same. Is it? So whenever I create any object, you will get the same values. Now, at the time of creating an object, I need to initialize the values. While at the time of creating the object. For example, so create file new class. For example, if you write some STU, then STU class, so in which I'll create a constructor. We call this a constructor. Constructor looks like a class name, which looks like a class name, which looks like a method, but don't have return type. So it is a constructor. Constructor looks like class name and method name, but don't have return type. Don't have any return type. And these constructors are executed when at the time of creating an object. They are executed at the time of creating object. So while executing means what? When you say like STU s equal to new STU. So this is what you call new STU. When you say this is called a constructor. New STU, this is STU. This is a constructor. So while STU is equal to new STU means whatever I give the values, I'll provide the data members, integer, SID, string name. I'll provide the values. Child equal to 1, s name equal to, then so given this values. So what happened? This is a constructor. I'm assigning values to the data members, and when this method is called, this method is called at the time of creating. When you say new STU, at this time it calls this constructor. So if you run this program also, I'll write STU s equal to new STU. Automatically it calls the constructor. Then I want to print the values. print the values, I can specify here a method disp. So disp is a method which prints the value. I'm calling a disp method, public void disp. So here disp is a method which prints the value. SID name this name. So see, within a method I can call another method. A method can call another method, but this method has to be where? Earlier we have seen how we are calling the methods. I am calling object dot method name. So, but when you are within a class, I don't require to call a method within the method. So method can be called directly without object. When you are within the class, method can be called directly. I don't require any object dot display method. So that's an abstraction for it. When you call an STU, you call new STU means it calls the constructor SID111 SName equal to Ramu you are given, and until it calls what? It calls the display method. It's a student ID SID. So which SID it thinks it from the object, which object S, it takes S dot SID, S dot SName like this. So I'm initializing the values, I'm calling a method. How I am calling the method? The constructor is calling the method. Now click and execute. Debug. I think we are not saved it. Save this. Change log files. Make it info. When you make the log files info, next time only and export. Here I'm specifying debug. No, next we don't require this. SID11 as student name Ramu. So what we done? We created STU is equal to new STU. So it calls the new STU means it calls this constructor. The constructor is assigning the values. I am initializing the values. Then it's calling the display method, which is calling another display method. I can pass the values from here also. How to pass? I can create one more constructor. Public STU integer I string S. So I'm initializing the value SID equal to I, student name equal to S. Now I can create an object STU S2 equal to new STU. I can pass values from here, right? 678 is an integer number and Rajesh is the string value. The string value I'm passing to sname. And then I can call the display method again to display the values. Now it takes, when you call display method, so you're calling st equal to new st means it calls a student constructor, parameter constructor. This is default constructor, or you can call it zero parameter constructor. It's an zero parameter. So we don't have any parameters, so we call it an zero parameter. And this is parameter constructor. Once you export this, save this program, Control S, click on export. CD 11678 the Rajesh looks. Yeah. How to open execute log? You can open from here also if you want. For example, you close this log file. I want to see this file, open log. You can see the log file. That's one way. Or in the Control E, when you check this open log, make it checkbox once, so it always will be open mode, and click on execute. It will open automatically the log file. Next. So here while calling the constructor, so this is a constructor. Using constructor I am calling this, creating an object, printing this. And display method is what? For displaying the values. And see, this method is not returning the value. As this method is not returning the values, you have declared the return type as void. Method does not return value, then declare it's in a void. Otherwise, if any return type is there, this is an return type double, you write double. There is no return statement here. And you can write double SV. Now the SV is what? A double value. Wait, it can take equal to so if it is basic salary like that, so you can take it. We'll write in another example. Okay. So the constructors are used to executes the program at the time of creating an object. So while creating an object only, these constructors are executed. And methods are called within the program without any creating an object. So I am not creating an object directly. Look at the values. Okay. Now we'll go for. So write this. I'll make this comment. So whatever statement you want, I'm making here. this is the code, and you can run this program. Okay. So first write this program. Which program? STU program, and then the control E, that's it, anonymous window, right, creating an object, and then this. Creating an object, and then run this. Okay. Next, file new, we'll go for inheritance. So inheritance, before going to inheritance, what's inheritance? Modifying or extending the existing class features. So if you extend or modifying existing class features, it's called the inheritance. Now this inheritance as again the types we have single inheritance and multi-level and multiple inheritance. A single inheritance means if I write in C1 class, again it is inherited with C2 class. It's single inheritance. So C1 has some methods, 2 methods and 2 data members. This child can have, I can have extend with 4 methods, and I can write 1. I can secure that in this parent class. This is parent class PC1, and you can write this child class. It's in parent class, and this child class 1, child class. Here you can extend with 3 data members. Parent has 2 methods, and the child can be extended. This multi-level, we have C1 parent class, we have C1 class, again it is extended with C2, then it's called multi-level. This is a multiple inheritance. In the multiple inheritance, what happens? There is a parent class, this C1 class, C2 class, and this C3. Now this bottom parent and C1 and C2. If a child is having multiple parents, if any child is having multiple parents, then it's called multiple inheritance. Any class having more than one parent, then it's called multiple inheritance. But this multiple inheritance is not allowed in our OOPS concept, in our Apex. Multiple inheritance means a class having more than one parent. Class having more than one parent is nothing but, so that's a problem. So it's which is not allowed here. Multiple inheritance is not allowed in Apex language. In Java or C#, all this language will not allow multiple inheritance. The reason is we have the conflicts. You get conflicts. We'll get conflicts. So I means if C1 has M1 method, M1 with 20 line statements, and again and C2 also class having M2 method with 30 lines of code. What happened? Which method I need to get? The same M1 method I have written. While inheriting, what happened? Now C3 contains two methods. The 20 lines code and this 30 lines code. So which code I need to return? So there will be a problem. There will be conflicts. Which method I need to call? A C1 method or C2 method? So as there is a conflicts from parent classes. Conflicts from parent classes. Multiple inheritance is not allowed. Okay. How to resolve that will come in the interfaces and abstract classes. Next, we have access specifiers. Access specifiers. We have access specifiers like global, public, private, and protected. What this access specifiers reference? So within user or outside user also need access. Outside users, outside Salesforce users, outside SFDC users, and within user level, same within class, and within derived class. So outside SFDC users, that means if it is global means what happened? I created a method that can be accessed from anywhere. I create a class in user and I need to access outside the user. Then declare that method as a global. Once I declare global, if a method I declare a global or a class, that class can be accessed outside level within the user. From anywhere I can access it. If I declare a method or a class as like this, we define access specifier public class. So instead of public, if I write global, that can be accessed from anywhere. Global means within the user level, or within the user, or within the class derived, or anywhere can access. If I declare public, so within public means within user, within the class, and within derived classes. And protected means I cannot access outside the users, within user, within the class, and within derived classes. Protected means within the class and within derived classes only. Only for derived classes only it comes. When you go for private, the privates can be accessed where within the user means I created some 10 Apex programs. So 10 programs can be accessed at the package level. So within user means I'm SFDC my box 67F user. Under this user I have written number of Apex programs, and another user is there. So that user also can be accessed. That you can save user in as a package level, If I use private, that can be accessed where? Within the class. Within derived class also cannot access it. So more secure way is private. So only within the class only can access it. I have written one program, that program only can access that method. Protected, that class and derived classes. Public means within the user, if another program is there, another program need to communicate, then declares a public. I have written P1 program, another P2 program I written. The P2 program can access this user. Same, from outside the user I need to access, then declare as in a global. We'll use this now. Okay. Now write this program. How to write this? How to extend the functionality. So file, new Apex class. Written parent class. Public class parent have written. Now here some variables can declare. Teacher I equal to 10. Then public void m1 method and declare the values. M1 plus now this is a class origin. So how to execute this program? So go to Control E. I'm executing the program. How to create parent p equal to new parent. To call that method p dot m1 I'm calling. And Alt tab to move between the windows. So there is an p1. There is a class parent class. And that's an I. Okay, now Alt tab. So move between parent P, new parent have written this. Once you execute it, this debug only. I'm in M1 method. That control like this. And then I'll comment here so I can store this, whatever description I've written, I can access this values. Okay. This is saving parent class. How to write that? So you are create an object and they are extending. See the Control E. Debug 20. Go to debug. Now I want to write a child class. How to extend the class? Then you write a class extends. So you write child extends parent and close the bracket. When you write public, now when you write extends, so extends is a keyword, extends the functionality of the parent in the child. Now parent has m1 method which is in a public. That method is coming to where? To the child class. So that method is available, that is visible in the child class. Now I can create an object child c equal to new child and call c.m1 method. So when you say c.m1, the m1 method is coming to the child class. When you execute means, even though here I have not written any class, any method, the m1 method is coming here. Now click on execute. Non-virtual cannot be extended to the parent. So here when you go for extensions, you need to declare virtual here. Save here. In Apex language, declare the parent class as a virtual whenever you want to extend the functionality. Execute. Debug. I'm in m1 method. Cancel I'm in m1 parent. Same. So when I says child c equal to new child, and c.m1 method means in the child there is no m1 method. But from which method is coming? The parent m1 method I am coming, and then I am executing. So we are calling the parent parent. So when you say child c equal to new child, c.m1, I am calling the m1 method of parent, and this method I am available. That method is available here. For example, declare that method as a private. What happen? That is visible to where? The private method is visible to up to the parent level. I cannot access that method in the child class also. Click and execute. Method is not visible. That method cannot be extended. Then, now if I write one more method here, so this is a private, return public. Now write one more method, public void m1 integer a, and here the method is, which method is there? I equal to a. Here written. And call the values system.debug I equal to I'm in m1 child. I'm in child. Void means if you are not returning any value, declare that method as a void. There is no return statement. If there is no return statement, you declare as a void. I'll use that. How to you return the values. Now c dot m1. So when you say c dot m1, which method it calls? Now this m1 method has, now m1 has two methods are there in our child. The parent method is coming and the child also one more m1 method is there. When you say c dot m1, it calls which method? Zero parameter constructor. When you say c dot m1 of passing 25, then what happened? This method is called, I'm calling 25 value passing to m1 method, 25 assigns to I, then I'm printing that. Now child has two methods, two m1 methods, zero parameter and parameter. And you click on execute. Execute. Visible is, variable is not visible. Since why it's not visible? I said that this method, the public method, will be available in where? In the child. But I, a variable I is not visible in the child. What's the reason? Why variable is I is not visible? What could be the access specifier here? What could be the access specifier? It's private. It's default in our Apex. The access specifiers are private. They are private. If you are not declaring any access specifier, it takes as a private. Further to when you execute, so it's not visible like that, it says. So if you declare as public, it can access. Save. And click execute. I'm in child I equal 21. I'm in parent P1. I'm calling two methods. That is, the M1 method is I'm calling the M1 method. I'm calling the M1 method with parameter. So now child has two methods. This zero parameter method and parameter methods. Two methods are existing here. Two methods are having. That means a class having two methods, same method name but two different functionality. Same method name but two different functionality. Then you call the concept is called, what you call it's an overloading. This is called overloading means same method name but different functionality. So overloading, same method name having different functionality. It's called over. Now which methods are overloaded? The M1. The M1 method, same M1 method with integer value. This M1 and M1. So M1 of child. This M1 of parent. Encapsulation means we are binding the data and methods. That's all. We are binding the data and methods is called, this is encapsulation. Data is there, method is there. So encapsulation is, we can say as in a concept. It's in a concept where this method can process this data. This data can be processed only by this method. That's called polymorphism. So polymorphism looks same name. The terminology they given, the polymorphism concept. Here we have overloading and we have overriding. So polymorphism is nothing but it's like overloading only. First the concept came with an polymorphism only. Then we came with the overloading and overriding. Then that names our terminals came as an We have only polymorphism and overriding. The overriding opposite became an overloading. Now we can overriding. So if I write one more method here, public void m1 here. So I'm writing one more method in the child class. Actually this method is coming to the child, but I'm writing a new definition here. I'm in child. Now which method it calls? So I've written m1 method. Now currently which methods are there? Whether the parent m1 or in child m1. So when you say cm1 means whether it calls the parent m1 or it's the child m1. And save it. Save this. The child only. Now it's class. Execute. Non-virtual, non-abstract methods cannot be overridden. So when you write the same methods, you need to declare this an override. We have to declare as a public abstract. That's an override methods have to declare here. Then when you click on execute, non-virtual. So when you want override, you need to declare here as a virtual. If a class is extending, declares a virtual. If a method is extending or writing a new definition, that's called virtual. So when you are extending the class, declare the virtual. Same time, when you are defining a new definition in the child, also declare as a virtual. Now again save it. Now come to child, next good. So you have to do it in the child, you have to declare as an what error? Override keyword. Method must use override keyword. When you are extending, you have to declare public virtual override. Now click and execute. So which method it calls? It calls the child m1. I'm in child m1. I'm in m1 child. I'm in m1 child. So now I won't call the parent. If you want the parent also, then you can declare super.m1. So what's happening here? When the child c equal to new child, object is created c.m1. So it calls which method? The child m1 method, since it is overridden. So that's the parent method. I am saying that override means the parent method should not be called. I need to call the child m1 method. And c.m125, it calls the parameter m1 method. So while calling cm1, it calls super.m1. So parent class m1 method, it calls the super class m1 method. System.debug, I'm in m1 child. Just click on next code. Debug. So I'm in m1 parent 10. I'm in m1 child. So it's calling the parent method and I'm in child, and then select that. Point. So here to extend the functionality, use extends keyword. There's an m1 method, m1 two m1 methods. That is overloaded, and again this m1 method has again we are overriding. That's called overriding. Let's see, that's a program. So here M1 method is overloaded and M1 method is also overwritten. Okay. So here overriding. So in child, parent methods are redefined. Yeah. So in child, parent methods are redefined. So at the time we have to declare the virtual. So virtual keyword has to be used for parent, class and overridden methods. Virtual class. So in the class level I have to declare virtual, and method also, whichever method I want to override, that method also declare as an it's an virtual. And to call the parent classes, to call parent methods, use super. Use super to call parent methods. Yep. Control E. I'm writing this. Copy this. Paste here. So while exporting the program, just write step by step. Now, say for example, I am returning a value. I want to return a value. That's public. Double D equal to 6.7. Then you can write public void public double RD method. This method returns the, so if I write string, I can write string let's write string RS. Then you return here, return good morning plus name. Now when I use that method, RS method, what type of it is returning? String. I am returning the string value. Whatever name I am given, that name value, and that's a return. I need to provide the name value here. Okay. Can you receive that values? The M1 method is there. M1 method, I can receive that value. String S. Assign this to name equal to S. I am passing the values. So now I can write the constructor if you want. Write the constructor instead of that. So we can write the constructors anywhere. I written string name. I can write the constructor public parent, and I can assign the values I equal to 10 and name equal to Raj. So while creating constructor, see, I'm creating parent p equal to new parent. Now p is an object. Now when you say p dot rs, what will return the value? Parent p equal to parent. So parent is what? A constructor. Parent is an constructor. In that constructor I am initializing I value 10, name equal to Raj. When you say p dot rs, so what is this method? Rs is a method, a return string. Rs is a return string, good morning plus string. So I am returning what? A string value. When you return statements, whenever you use a return statement, you declare this in a whatever the corresponding data type. Not returning any value, then specify return null. So now when you execute, now p.rs means it returns which value? A string value. So store this, save this, save, Control E, execute. Not written. So if you want to store that return value, then that declare as Control E, store that value in a variable string s1, or you can write as a, I can print the value system dot debug. I can write directly how p.rs, I can call this directly, or I can call this system.debug s1. That's one way you can call, or you can call without p.rs means it returns what? The good morning plus name. So good morning Raj I'll get. System.debug, I can call the object dot the method name. Debug. So good morning Raj, I'll get it. So you are returning the value. So while returning the value, I can call this. So while you are calling the method, use the object. If you are not returning a value, then declare as a void. So if it make it void, it shows an error. Save it. It's giving error. So void method cannot return a value. Void method must not return a value. I cannot say, no, here I want to return the value. That method has return value means you have to say return. So when you call this method and you say p.rs, so I want to get the value, but here I am getting the value means I am declared as a void. So you specify that's a return type string. So that string value you can store in s1, print s1, or directly you can specify. Yes. So this program is existing here. You can call this base stats. Save. And so first we have written EMP class. So which is that's one. Okay, now we have written the constructor. So constructor is what? We have zero parameter constructors and parameter constructors, and these constructors are called during initialization. So when you create an object at the time of creating an object, while creating an object, constructors are called. And what is the use of this is, constructors are used to initialize the objects, are used to initialize objects instead of initializing objects explicitly. Explicitly means I need to call separately method, I need to call it. Now here I don't need to call that method explicitly. Directly that methods are called. I don't need to call. Instead of initializing objects explicitly, can be called directly without an object. Yes. Same, the parent. The parent class is the parent class and the child class is there. The parent class can have the multiple methods. It's an M1, that's an M1, and that's. So when you use extends, compulsory you have to use the virtual. Extending the class we have to use virtual. Extending the method also you have to use virtual. The M1 method, it's a parameter method. Same method name, that's an M1 method. This is, it's called overloaded method, and this method is overridden method. Is it? So this is an M1 method, same method name, same return type like that, and this is also same return type, same method name. It's called overridden. But here in this methods, here zero parameter, you have the parameter methods. When you're calling the methods, and if you want any other superclass method, then use super.m1. Okay. So any doubts here? Done. Okay.